Greetings, beloved. Welcome back to Rebirth the Body channel, where we are discussing everything mental health. Welcome to the best days of your life. Yes, we're doing this. Today we're talking about rewriting our story, creating a new narrative for ourselves that aligns with what it is that we truly desire, right? Oftentimes we begin to take on the labels that people have given to us, right? But that's not who we truly are at the core and nature of ourselves. And sometimes we take on our emotions that came from traumatic experiences and make that the end all be all of who we are. But I want to tell you, you are not your procrastination. You are not your depression, your sadness, your laziness. You are not those things, right? You are not those feelings, those entities, those elements. Those are experiences that you have had, right? But that is not who you is at the core. That's not who you are at the core. That's not who you are. The true essence and nature of you is so much beyond that, right? Those are just experiences. And so what I'm talking about today, when we're saying rewrite your story, you have the ability to relabel yourselves, right? So you can cast away the labels that were given to you. Me, early on, just being from a poverty stricken area, coming from a family that is mostly from poverty stricken areas, the mindset is of poverty, right? And I had to move past my poverty mindset. And you can sometimes you can see these elements in yourself when you kind of expect lack, right? So pay attention to what your expectations are. So sometimes we're expecting a drought, expecting for bad things to happen simply because we have experienced them before. And so what I'm telling you is you can move past those experiences. They're just experiences. And so a strategy you can use for that is being an observer of your life. Observe yourself, right? And so when you do this, and it's almost like sometimes you take a audience role to your life, even though you're playing out the scene. Sometimes you take a step back and you're able to just look and see, okay, when I take out all of the emotions and feelings, what's the bigger picture? Right? Who am I at the core never changes because of these traumatic experiences. Who I am at the core remains the same, right? And at any point, I can rewrite the story because I can shift into a different state. I do not have to remain the victim. And sometimes we become victim to our symptoms, victim to our emotions. Some of us begin to enjoy playing the victim, being in that victim role, that victim mindset. And so when you take a step back and just observe your life and see, okay, am I playing the victim? Am I always continuously playing the victim? And for you, playing the victim might come easy, it might come natural because you have done it for so long. But you have the opportunity to rewrite the story. You don't have to stay in the victim mindset. You don't have to stay in low vibrational thoughts and low emotions. You're able to shift, right? And so what we know is you're going to experience many emotions. That's natural. You're going to experience many of these emotions, but you get to choose what emotions are you going to stay in, right? Because sometimes these emotions now become personality traits. So where you used to be this happy, outgoing, loving individual, you had a traumatic experience and now you have stayed in the emotion of the traumatic experience. It's time for you to take a step back, be an audience to your behavior. What behavior traits, what patterns do you need to break, right? And this is when you're able to see the bigger picture, right? See the bigger picture. It allows for you to navigate with a more clear mindset because you understand I am not the depression. The depression is just the experience. It's the experience that I had, it's some emotions that I had, but it is not who I am at the core. It is not the nature of me. It is not the total being and total essence of me. So stop taking these traumatic experiences and then making it now your personality. Now sometimes we start to just live in that. Oh no, I'm depressed. I'm dealing with depression. Always give, oh no, I'm dealing with anxiety. So we use that. We begin to use our symptoms as an excuse for our behaviors, as an excuse for our personality. But that's not truly who you are at the core. It's just an experience. So work on the relabeling, right? Work on taking back what everyone else has said you are and deciding who it is that you truly want to be, right? Take back the control, because in all essence you have the control, right? Sometimes we might need to look at ourselves as a puppet outside of ourselves. How can I better control my avatar? How can I better control the temple to do the things that I wanted to do, right? So take back your control. Allow yourself to be aware of your behaviors. This is why it's very good to do self-reflections, and making sure to, and you can do this weekly, sometimes daily, just looking back at, okay, why did I make that decision? Was it a good decision? Paying attention to that, because sometimes what you will find is sometimes your own behaviors are hindering you from experiencing what it is that you truly want. And it's usually connected to fear, just sadness, sometimes just lack of self-knowledge, like you not understanding that you truly can make whatever it is that you want happen. And sometimes you'll see other people doing it, you're like, oh no, they can do it because such and such. No, you can do it too, right? You are not bounded by your circumstances. You can go beyond that. You're not bounded by those traumatic experiences that you had. You can go beyond that. You can rewrite your narrative. You can rewrite your story to fit what it is that you want. You can shift into another individual. You can literally levitate into another dimension. You can move forward, right? So when you're experiencing those moments that are challenging, allow for yourself to come outside yourself, right? Separate yourself from the emotion. Look at the observer in you, right? And say, okay, this part of me I know is stable and grounded in who I am at the core. This is just a bad experience. I know bad experiences are sometimes going to happen, but it doesn't represent my total being. It doesn't represent who I am naturally. So just remember that while you're on the journey, you always have the ability to rewrite your story. This is a part of our pure awareness that we can create the narrative, any narrative that we truly desire. So move past what you see now, move past the depression, move past the self-doubt, right? Move past the fear and anxiety, move past the father not being present, move past mom not being encouraging. You want to move past that and understand that those was just experiences, and it's more so about just starting. Some of us are just lacking, just taking that very step forward, like just making an effort. Allow yourself to make an effort. We know that this is a process, this is a journey, this is not something that is going to happen overnight. This is not a quick fix. This is a lifestyle. So welcome to the best days of your life.